Hello, everybody, and welcome back to FOF's Heroic League. I'm Rapterra, joined by the ever wonderful Chris Edgeworth. I think this is our first cast together.
I have to imagine last week when I stepped in, it was my first time casting with Zach, I believe, as well. I can't remember if maybe we certainly might have had the opportunity to do some desk work on season 1 with the 200 years of experience desk, maybe. And then in season 2, but I don't know. It's been a bit, but we have a great game going on today.
Yeah, we do. We've got Team Wash versus Art of War Esports. Very exciting match. Both these teams having a little bit of a different season so far, all suffering their first loss of the season coming in today. And Wash, struggling to find their footing as we get into it, but both of them looking to pick up a win to end this second week of play here as we get underway with the bans. A Vi already coming out for Awe, as well as a Diana for the side of Washed, and a Corky on the side of Awe as well.
Yeah, looking at the draft, it's shaking out so far. With the bans, it looks like there's a smattering of across the map. We got some top focus, some jungle focus, some supports, and some mids. But then these are just rocketing picks out. It seems like both these teams had an idea of what maybe the other team was going to be looking for, as well as what their game plan was. And it seems like both teams are prepared to come into this match. We see the Diana come out as the first pick, and then they answer with that Vi, which has been super popular. But the Corky, that's something that I don't know if we've been seeing in the past couple of games here in Thunder Foe, but fallen off in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's fallen off a little bit. Recent patches haven't been super kind to the Corky, but you know what they have been kind to is Sivir, who has been doing absolutely fantastic since her little mini rework she had a couple patches ago.
Yeah, the Sivir has been absolutely massive internationally. I mean, it's just a Sivir comp is as true as it ever was now, especially when you have the likes of champions like Yuumi, although we do live in a post-Zeri world, pentakills galore. Although, admittedly, Sivir, as soon as she came back onto the scene, was actually able to start to rack up some more pentakills than before with the changes that they made on the boomerangs. Looking at the bans, as we see the rest of the draft shake out here in the second half, some more support focus across, since they didn't show that on the red side. The Annie, of course, and then the Orianna, some mid lane focus bans on Pure Llama, and then the Trundle taken away. So I'm interested to see what Art of War wants to pick up here with what they have left to pick for their support as well as their top laner.
Yeah, I can't imagine with what's left up. There's a lot of options. I would take something in this case, maybe like a Yuumi, put it on. You can use it, early on in the lane. You can use it with the Vi to really lock down targets between her ultimate and the Vault Break and Yuumi's ultimate. So I think I would expect to see something like that, but it's actually going to be the Nautilus, another standard pick we see with the Sivir. I've seen a lot of this in pro play in the last couple of weeks. That's great.
There's a lot of. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you.
Oh, no, you're all good. All good.
I just wanted to hop in and say, like, with Sivir, there's many ways that you can use her ultimate, and I mean, it of course, stapling an Enchanter to her is great, especially with Yuumi, or even, if they had been able to get their hands on the Lulu. But also, I mean, you can just play it honestly and just have Nautilus run really fast at them and be able to get gap close and get some of that CC off. And then they rocket through out here with the Talia in the mid lane, as well as the Ornn on the top side for Team Wash, rounding out their comps. They got that hyper carry with the Enchanter for the bot side. They're going to have that control mage in the mid with the ability to roam on the Talia, and then just an honest tank in the top side. And it looks like Bigasticus is going to have the opportunity to counterpick this tank.
And it looks like the counter pick might be the Volibear. Interestingly enough, not a very great late scaling champion if he doesn't get ahead, but interesting pick nonetheless. And it is not. It's actually going to be the Sejuani. Okay, so that is Sejuani top. Okay, so something that I'm not a big fan of personally. I find Sejuani top struggles into a lot of compositions, though in this case there is no Trundle to counter it, so
yeah,
potential here.
I think that's the key here, is that Team Wash did ban out the Trundle. It does open up, that's one of the absolute hardest counters for the Sejuani, of course. And with the addition of the Sejuani for their comp, though, what I really like about what it does is the Nautilus is primarily fairly tanky early, and then as the game goes on, it's more about, how you're able to, die slower. It's not necessarily that you're going to be a big tank. And the Sejuani is going to scale into that tank role, which I hope allows Total Trash on the Vi here to play towards more of a damage role and maybe be able to be more active with that damage in the early game, and that might be a way to sort of get their team comp off to an early start. So I'm not sure what you're thinking about looking at these drafts that they shake out. What are the standouts for you?
For me, the standout is the Vi. I think that's a really good pick, especially with this Twitch here. And I know they picked it before the Twitch, but I think it works really well because Twitch has no escape tools. So if they can just quickly ult onto him, or even hit like a Sejuani ult and just quickly burst him down before Lulu can kind of hit him with his ultimate, I think there's a good chance that they can win the fights pretty easily. There's not a lot of DPS outside of that. The only other real strong damage is to, casters. So I would expect to see a lot of focus on this Twitch. And I think on the side of Wash, it's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to whether or not this Twitch can really carry the game.
Yeah, with the Lulu, you're just gonna have the ability to absolutely go ham in this, and Twitch is one of the hyper carries that I feel like has gotten left out in the cold, as we've been able to see the Zeri mania that's been going on internationally lately, and then a lot of that tripod has fallen into the likes of the Sivir and in some cases the Aphelios. So just going the honest route of just like, hey, okay, we'll pick yet another a hyper carry champion. This is one that I believe, the Zeri was banned, or was I'm totally blanking for a second.
I'm blanking too. I do not think it was banned.
Yeah, so what the point I wanted to make is that Erebus is consciously like, hey, this is the hyper carry I want to play. I got the Lulu besides me. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. And Erebus, I think, will do very well on this Twitch. I think it's a good pick for him. I think it fits his style. But we'll have to see as we are on the Rift, and kind of playing a little cheeky right here with this enemy blue side start.
Oh, Beakus Deek is showing outside.
Yeah, they're looking for him. PJ Salt might walk right into this trap, walks right into it, gets picked up, trying to run away. It was getting so low so quickly, might have to burn the flash to live. And it is actually not. He's just going to walk out just fine. Oh, his trap just fails him.
And it looks like they're going to stick around and be able to get this blue buff. Pure Llama is just going to put a little harass. But that's a big investment from AWE, and it does turn out in their favor. Although, a little bit of the brother PJ Salt on that one. I don't really think that you needed to take the bait with the dancing Sejuani. That should have been kind of a clue.
Yeah, but, the goats sometimes just gotta go. You gotta follow your head.
Booty. The boar booty is strong.
The boar booty. I love it. Well, teams just kind of scalling back, going right into a normal little pattern here. Just standard farming, standard clearing, nothing too crazy going on. And I expect this will be probably really the state of this game, as these are two hyper carries in the bottom lane. So I would expect to see a lot of scaling come out of them.
I am hoping that there's some follow-up on that. They do force the flash out of the Lulu early. Already not their favorite time. Until that Sivir does run out of the mana, it is a bit dangerous for them. They're going to be constantly pushed under their tower. Until then, though, they're going to have to be very careful. The Lulu can't play forward. That means the Twitch is going to have to play a little bit more honestly. And it looks like Sejuani is going to push this wave in on the Ornn too.
It does. I feel like Ornn will struggle a little bit in the early game, but it's really about that late game factor for the side of the Ornn. Like, you're there for the items. You want the Ornn items. You want to be able to just quickly tear through him. Get those buffs later. Give that to Twitch. Give him the upgrade and let him just go wild. So as long as he's not just feeding, as long as he's not just dying for nothing, I'd say overall it's a win-win for this. I mean, it's a win for this Ornn, just passively playing it out and, just seeing where that goes for them.
Yeah, looking at the CS, it looks like that things are pretty stock and standard between everyone, although the Diana falling a little bit behind. It looks like she's showing a little pressure in the mid lane. Gonna have to return to the jungle camps herself. And Sejuani already gonna head back, pick up some refillables. Trials, maybe? Let's see what we're waiting on. But it turns in to
here.
get the teleport in. Oh,
It's the control
wards.
ward.
It's the control ward. Let's go.
The best
All right.
item.
You know, I was thinking that they might want to get the refillable here because what's crazy about Ornn is that he can just build stats in lane. Who doesn't love that? So, and then he's already got the Doran shield for the nasty early game regen. So, either way, though, gonna have the safety of the vision. And although I will point out, I was just earlier listening to the Church of LS, and he was giving his sermon about unnecessary pink ward purchases. So we'll see. As long as this pink ward has some value for Biggie Steakus, it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out.
And the fight breaking out right here. Vi going in, looking to grab onto this Diana. Diana forced to flash out, but the Vi is on the hunt. He's going to walk out just fine. I don't think he's going to get stunned up. He's going to go down, and it's going to be first blood going over to the side of Awe.
And wow, looks like just a lot of pressure they weren't expecting on the top side. A lot of commitment from AWE. Sejuani had just come back into the lane, and they just all commit. They bring all the pressure up. They have the Oriri comes all the way up for this as well on the back. So a very coordinated set of plays there from Art of War Esports.
Yes, indeed. Good coordination between their jungler and between their top laner. Fantastic play from them. I mean, this is a reason this team, outside of that loss yesterday, has looked so strong in the first week. They just have shown quite a bit of coordination. And now on the bottom side here, you gotta back up. Gotta be careful. That Twitch, it's still early game, so it doesn't have a lot of items yet. Just the dagger and the longsword, but still gotta be careful. Gotta respect the power of the Lulu.
And, we do have the Cole Gaming versus the Lulu. So Sivir, it seems, is very happy with the amount of pressure they've been able to exert in this lane. They feel like, hey, we don't need to go nuts here. We'll just, fly casual, get into that mid-game power spike for her, which can be nuts around those second and third dragons or particularly late Herald fights. So I do like that play from them. That there's no need to get too volatile and to sort of play around the pressure of your lanes, especially when you have the Corky here, who's going to be able to push out these lanes and sort of group with you. As we're seeing, it looks like there's some action in the top side.
Bottom side, though, there is a fight breaking out, trying to run away, trying to get out of there. All on the hunt, though, looking to maybe pick up these stragglers as they flee, but they're going to get out. Fine, maybe no. Oh, that Lulu almost burns down right there, but they do manage to get out scot-free.
Yep.
Close. These fights are looking very close.
Yeah, I'm truly waiting to see in which way this game explodes, because right now it is on a razor's edge. We saw the Talia had committed the Weaver's Wall to come down. It ends up being a little late to that fight, and so Art of War is going to be able to transition their pressure from this play into an early dragon, and that's going to be the first dragon of the game, going over to Art of War here in a moment.
And it is going to be a fight in the top side. Ornn. Yeah, no, he's fine. There's no one else really to follow up. Sejuani, struggles quite a bit if she doesn't have her backup with her, to help kind of get the passive off for the stun. But still, good trading so far. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for those early leads to snowball on top to Ornn and kind of, look for opportunities to be able to roam with the Sejuani.
And yeah, I mean, looking at the gold, thank you, Ryan, for bringing that up. I mean, we can see that Vi is very comfortable. Cash bags are heavy for Vi, and it looks like she's going to be pulled into early item lead against the Diana, both in the camps, and then you got the kill on her. And looking around the rest of the map, otherwise it looks pretty standard, as Vi is going to convert that into the early Sheen, and this is what I'd like to see. This Vi is committed to buying early damage to commit to the map to be able to get her lanes ahead with strong ganks.
Indeed so. And now we're looking at Nautilus getting caught out right here on the side, trying to run away, trying to get out, but the Talia and the Diana are just going to run him down. God X Anime picks up the kill onto Oriri and puts them on the board.
Well, I do have a word for this as a support main, and it comes with a little jingle that all my friends will know if they play games with me. Dangerous wards, dangerous wards.
Dangerous.
Just doing a little dangerous warding, and looks like he's gonna pay the price for that one. Art of War, just roaming up. He just, Ariri's just like, hey, what's going on? As we see the flash comes out.
Oh, looking to grab a kill right here, and it is Pure Llama gonna pick up Total Trash right there. And now the run off. Ooh, has to flash, trying to run away, gonna get taken out, and it's gonna be a kill going over to the Twitch. PJ Salt though, almost going on the top side. Does the ult? Not quite enough damage right there, but overall, fantastic play.
A very dangerous noodle fight, but a noodle fight nonetheless in the top side. We've seen one kill. We've seen so many close calls, it seems like, a lot of trading, but only the one kill, which happened off camera a moment ago. And still, they just keep coming back and scrapping. I love to see it, but it is going to be after that big pickup in the mid lane. The pressure going in Team Wash's favor, and they're going to be able to pick up that Herald.
Yes, they are. And now they are up about 1,000 gold. Looks like for us, still a little pixel right there. But...
It's about 500. I'm looking at the stream on the other monitor.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
That's the pro tip, bro.
Yeah, pro tip. That's the smart way
I couldn't
to go
read real talk. I like was having so much trouble reading the names of the champions. Sometimes I was like, oh, that's Biggest Deakus. Right. Earlier I was struggling. I was like, the Sejuani is So yeah,
no, I feel it. I was having the opposite problem. I couldn't see people's names. Like I could see the champions.
Oh no, sorry. That's what I meant. I misspoke. Oh. Yeah, I meant the champion.
But, you're all good.
But it's all good. We're rolling with it. That's just how we do over here at Friend or Foe. It's duct tape and prayer, almost all the time. So we make it work. And Isaac, you get to see how the sausage is made almost all the time. So you know how it is.
Yes, I do. It's behind the scenes production is always fun. Speaking of fun, PJ Salt having a bit of fun up here on the top side now. I'm against Big Deakus. He's taking a lot. He's putting a lot of pressure now. But here comes the Vi, looking to make a pickup here. Total Trash coming around.
Here we go.
Here we go. Fight about to break out. The gank is here. He's in orange, trying to run away. PJ Salt gonna get stunned up. Gonna try to run. Not gonna get to go anywhere. Time for a delicious goat burger.
That was so casual. I love that play so much. He's just like, "Hey, buddy, you shouldn't be here, man. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm just gonna have to kill you." He doesn't even need to commit the assault and battery, whatever it's called now. That's not that, but Vialt. I can't remember. Can we hover over it? Cease and desist. Thank you very much, Ryan. Shouts out to production. So yes, the cease and desist, not even needed to be committed there for the kill. So we're finally going to be able to see a little bit more money go into the Vi. She commits to the Divine Sunderer early, and now we're going to have to see how she continues into this mid game.
Yeah, doing 2-1 right now on the Vi. Already got the mythic item online. Could be such a big factor. We were saying the Vi was going to be huge this game. It's all about catching Erebus. It's all about catching them, taking them out in the fights, leaving nothing for the side of Washed. But it's all right. To see how it goes as we get into the team fights, if they can have the correct target selection. Is now is pushing Washed out. Is going to go for this dragon here. Try to get their second of the game.
I do think that mid Herald play was low-key hilarious. They sort of walked up and just popped the Herald in their face. They're like, what are you going to do about it? And they're just like, we're going to walk to Dragon because we have all of the vision behind you. They're like, that's fair enough. I understand. We'll have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Exactly. And now about 200 gold lead. It's a very, very small gold lead right now. Basically coming down to just the farm. That's it. Maybe the first blood too. And everyone on the board, most of the gold in the AD carry side looking very strong, but mid lane for the side of Wash, Pure Llama getting a pretty nice lead for himself right there.
Yeah, very, very casual, very, very simple lead there. It's just the battle of the wave clear and coming up in his favor. Able to get also the kill and the assists as a little cash richer than his friend on the other side. So Corki, admittedly going to be falling behind in this DPS department right now. It's going to have a little bit of an issue for him to be able to match this wave push. Although, he cleared it right there. So I guess
Yeah,
he's got to
he's
show
fine.
me up. That's the caster curse, except I cursed myself. Fair enough.
I feel like most lanes involving Corki are just like, they feel like they're turned to farming lanes. It's like, okay, who clears the wave? Corki clears the wave. Whoever's playing clears the wave, and then you just kind of sit there and wait for them to all scale up.
Diana's
But another gank on the top side. Here comes Vi. BJ Salt on the run. The assault and the battery comes through. The ult comes through. Cease and desist, he says, and he does. Big Dekus taking the kill onto PJ Salt, and another play on the top side. But GodX Anime is here looking for maybe something. The Talia was roaming, but they're not going to find anything. They're going to back off.
All right, and I do want to revise my statement from earlier, or at least touch on it again, not necessarily revise it. The pink wards coming through big for Art of War Esports. This Vision game is absolutely crushing it for them. I feel like they're absolutely playing Team Washed exactly how they want, as they've been able to play around this Vision, even if it cost them those plates in the mid lane. They're just like, that's cool. We have all the vision. We're just gonna move and take this objective. They commit on the top side. They're just like, it's not really a lot that can be done here. We just commit this ultimate, kill the Ornn. It's like, cool, man. Hey, thanks. We're still here, by the way. So
Yeah.
really a good mid game transition I'm seeing here for Art of War as we get to about 15 minutes.
Yeah, and Team Washed is, they haven't died in the bottom lane. They're still doing well, farming up down here. They are getting behind. 50 CS down now against this Sivir, and PJ Salt taking another fight in the top side. So much damage coming out of Dekus in this matchup. And Wednesday and Erebus are just having, while they're doing, I was going to say they were doing okay farming. I looked at the farm numbers and I'm like, ooh, that's a rough time. They haven't really even had any ganks come down here. They've just been struggling in the 2v2.
Yeah, and it looks like the hyper carry dream for Twitch is really going to have to go late if there's any hope for them to catch up, really, because Sivir is really about to start hitting her stride. Got the Kraken Slayer on lock. Nautilus has the Nikes on deck. Going to be being super quick in between the lanes. As we see, GodX Anime showing himself on the bottom side. And of course, Sivir and Not are going to fall back as he takes that scuttle. So nothing to be seen there, as it looks like we're going to be in a little bit of a lull state for a minute or so here as teams get ready for the dragon.
And Chris, if you're a member of Team, if you're Team Wash coach, what do you want to see out of your team here? Like, how do you want to see them kind of pull themselves back in? They're down 50 CS right now on their AD carry. They've lost a couple kills on the top, so they're up in kills overall, but they are down in gold, and they are struggling a bit with these repeated ganks from the Vi. So what do you want to see out of this team now that also the first turret has gone down?
What I like about this here is that this is a Cloud Dragon. You don't need this coming up. You have the Herald now. What I want to see them do is that if they want to, they could commit heavily to the mid lane while this dragon is being done, and just play chicken with them and say like, hey, what's up, man? Like, we're gonna drop this Herald. We're just gonna push this in. You get the wave clear, and just push that in and just threaten them, and then just make sure that the key is to then not fight them afterwards, which is always the mistake. They're like, I'm pushing, let's do it. No, you push, you let them take the dragon, use your Herald, get the charges, and then just don't take the fight. Scale a little bit more. Don't take it while they're on their power spikes.
Exactly. Speaking of power spikes, Twitch got the Bork now. Guy is getting closer to his item point. Not the mythic, but I actually think it is a better start. Helps him shred through that front line of Vi, Nautilus, and Sejuani much easier, especially because they don't really have any armor. They've only been kind of going towards MR. The only art, there's just that one cloth armor on the side of Vi, and I guess whatever is on the Iceborne. And I guess there's also one on Nautilus too. So just a tiny bit of armor, but still, Bork, good first item here. Oh, looking for something. The teleport coming in, the flank with the package. He's looking for it. Corki trying to find it. They don't know he's here.
We don't need to do this.
Oh, they're trying. I think Wash is looking for this fight. Guilty looking for something here. He's flanking.
Guilty the god, please.
Yeah, they're just kind of dancing around this dragon. He's slowly edging around the corner. He's coming around. They sees him now. Llama spots him, but there goes the package. Package going in. Fight breaking out. They take it. Awe takes Dragon, and now the fight is breaking out. God XMA forced to flash over the wall. PJ Salt trying to get out. He's going to go down. The rest of Wash is going to follow suit. Twitch falls. Diana falls. Wednesday is going to follow too. Llama's the only one left. It is on the run, but is going to get run down. A double kill for Deakus and an ace for the side of Awe.
Hey, Team Wash coach, check the tape. Check the tape. You heard what I said. Everyone heard it. Literally everyone heard it as we see this fight breaks out. They get committed on by Corky, and then it's just the cease and desist in the backside, and it's just leaves everything open. And, you know, God X Anime drops, and that's going to be a swift cleanup for the side of Art of War Esports after they take that Dragon. Just, there was no reason to be there for Team Wash. We saw Ryan show they were able to get the second charge on the tower. They could have pushed that through. They could have been able to transition that into a push on the top side. There's so much that they left on the table by just committing to a Dragon fight that they were never going to be able to win.
Exactly, and now they find themselves down 3,000 gold now on Soul Point. It's looking a little dire for Team Wash. You know, that scaling's going to come in, but is it going to matter when the enemy team is it going to come in time before the enemy team just runs them over? A mid also, by the way, picking up a triple kill in that fight. I forgot to mention that.
You are always, so this is a key thing that needs to be understood by, you know, most people watching this, but some people won't. There's a Dragon Soul is coming up next, folks. That was always going to be the case, and they were always most likely going to have to fight that Dragon Soul. Oh, it's a Cloud Soul, so you don't really need to. I'm just saying. But in any case, that's the fight that you wanted to be getting ready for. That's the fight that you wanted to bleed them for on this one that you weren't going to take, so that you were in a better position when you take the fight that you have to in the future. Instead, they mortgaged their future for a really unnecessary fight in the present, and it's going to make it so much harder for them to claw this game back from Art of War.
It is, and you know, Auriri, that cost per win is starting to go down if they pick this up. It's the $5 players. But speaking back on the situation in the game right now, 4-8 in favor of Awe. Dragon up in a little under 3 minutes right now. So it's just a game of waiting. Awe just happy to keep the pace slowed down. They know that they've hit their power. They're hitting power spikes. They know they're gonna scale. They're gonna outscale their opponents at this point. That Wash is gonna have a much harder time catching up. And Wash, you know, they just want to get that farm. They're trying to get what little farm they can scrape together. Try to grab what little resources they can before this fight for the soul. And Deakus, though, caught out by God X Anime, gets ulted back in. On the run right now, trying to get away. Does get the stun off. Anime on the charge. Llama gonna knock him back. They're beating up on this poor pig. The ult comes through, is gonna run away, chasing him down, but the rest of the team is here. The shutdown onto Deakus, but it's gonna cost Scott X Anime his life. The Vi is here. The Nautilus ult comes through. The cease and desist comes through as well. The Vi going forward, and Auriri gonna pick up the kill on the Llama, 2 for 1. And what looked like was gonna be just a clean kill for the side of Washed. We were saying earlier, without the Twitch, there isn't a lot of DPS to break through these tanks.
Yeah, the boar booty was a bait on this one, and you know, it's going to cost Team Wash. They thought that they had biggest Deakus dead to rights there, and in the end, he was just luring them, honestly, into their deaths, because, as you say, the Twitch wasn't there. The Twitch was in the mid lane pushing, doing what they should have been doing, but, you know, that's the way it's going to go, as, again, we do get closer to this nuclear option on the Dragon. We are taking a look at Diana here. And you know, she was able to get in on that. She's able to get a gold infusion, building towards that Sunfire, which is, you know, oh so balanced. As we see that Nautilus is starting to get that vision in the bot side. Art of War is already getting ready for this, as we could go to directed camera, my friend, which would be excellent. Thank you so much. And so Art of War getting set up on the bot side with that immaculate dragon control that they've been showing throughout the game. We are seeing the wave clear still being done on the side of Team Washed. You know, again, this is going to be a tough fight for them, but they do have time. They are set up a little early in the Dragon. They're not able to defend that vision, so they might be able to clear out some of this as we see a little bit
Llama forced to flash. The ult coming from Deakus, the ult coming now from the Vi, and they're going to pick up another kill on the bottom side. Vi proving so effective here, doing so well with that target priority. Now Guilty fighting PJ Salt on the top side. Little scared just because of the tankiness of this Ornn, but at the end of the day, I think he'll win the fight. Here comes the Twitch, though. Right onto Guilty, the Ornn ult coming through. PJ Salt gonna hit him. The Ram comes through, and Erebus picks up a kill. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Godx Anime looking for something. The Sivir just doing so much damage to him, though. He's forced to flash out. And Soul, they're not even gonna fight for the Soul. They're just gonna go for this top turret. Soul gonna go over to the side of top inner turret gonna go down, though, for the side of Wash. They at least pick up something for their troubles.
So one thing to note for Art of War Esports is that they actually have quite a fair bit of standing gold to pick up, as we see that Amid is going to be able to get this mid lane tower. Top outer still borderline untouched. So, you know, there's still a lot of gold to be had just by the pressure they're going to be able to enact here in the next few minutes, especially as now Team Wash is going to have to find some way to be able to interact with them around this Baron, as they're going to be able to transition all the vision that they've been committing to the bot side and commit it to the top side.
Indeed, they're got to commit their resources here. Baron gonna be the name of the game coming up right here. Awe is positioning around it. Oh, but the Sivir on mid having to flash away, being chased down by the Twitch, and is gonna get shut down by Godx Anime. Stepping too far forward. You gotta be careful now that Twitch has 2 items online. Like, you can't just be walking out alone. You gotta have your team with you.
Sorry, I was just huffing some hopium real quick there for my friends on Team Wash as we see the shutdown get brought into the Twitch exactly where you need it to go. So if anything is going to go their way, I'm glad that they get this shutdown on the Sivir and the cash into the pocket of the Twitch.
Yeah, now the dance around Baron Odd is probably going to have to back off this. Despite their gold lead, they are, you know, it's not that big. They don't want to give up even more going back to Washed. But at least the kill went to the Diana. It didn't go to the Twitch. I feel like that would have been a bigger threat, just slightly.
You know, I do want to highlight as Guilty is headed back to the base. I don't think that there is a package waiting for him. It does not look like it. Okay, anyway.
There is not.
But I was going to bring up,
Oh,
let's go. It's a package angle. So this is what I want to bring up. Guilty role player position today. I am loving it from Guilty. He's got the package flank as we saw earlier on the dragon fight that should have never been. That was awesome from him. I love the positioning and the mind for that. And then of course he's just committing to the wave clear, committing to keeping these waves controlled, and the gold is being spent on the Ludens and the Murmana. So you're just gonna be the Rocket Bot 5000, and you know, every time that package is up, you're gonna be raining hell on them. So I love it from Guilty.
Yeah, now with that package up, I think they're gonna take this turret and go. He goes back, picks up the package, goes down, and I think they could force the fight around Baron if they get the package there. But Deakus is heading to the bottom side right now. Now Guilty and Total Trash kind of trying to get out of there. We did see Wash kind of rotating up, but I think they're just gonna let them get away. Now, ooh, Trash, careful. Nearing Godx Anime, being chased down. Godx Anime goes forward, but not gonna really pick anyone up. Everyone's gonna walk out scot-free. It's this moment in these games where, you know, we're at that point where both teams are worried if either of them makes a mistake, if either of them loses their AD carry or either of them loses their frontline tank, that these fights could go really bad for them. But Deakus, just on a split push of all things, takes the turret and is just gonna walk away. It's just Llama there to chase him down. Not gonna take that. Meanwhile, on the top side, there are 3 from Washed here. Erebus does go invisible for something. Deakus chasing around Llama. Getting a little dice. Ooh, the little rocket covered right there. Out of Guilty. Very strong. Hasn't gone back to pick up the package yet. Oh, but speaking of which, a fight breaking out right here. PJ Salt getting caught out, trying to run away, but is just gonna get Flashed out is gonna walk. No, is gonna get taken down by the ignite from Deakus. Deakus continuing forward. Does not even care about the Twitch. Does not even care about the Diana. Just cares about buying the space as his team starts up the Baron. Package.
Oh.
Ooh, Guilty's got the package. TP coming into the turret. Or here for the side of Wash. Do they contest this Baron? Do they just give it up? I think giving it up is the better option here. They don't really have much of the tool, especially with their frontliner, but Godx Anime is going forward, looking for something. Here comes the Corki package. Doesn't hit anybody. Everyone gets out, but down goes one. Guilty picks up Erebus. Down goes Godx Anime. A mid picking him up right there. Now it's the chase on to the Lulu. Wednesday gonna go down. Pure Llama gonna go down. An ace for the side of Awe. And Wash takes a fight they really shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, this was how it was always going to go. They show up. They had played so smart around this, but then you see it's going to be the ultimate in from Corki, and it just forces them to respect the space, and after that, the follow-up from the likes of the Cease and Desist, the follow-up with the Sivir, there's just absolutely nowhere you can go. So that's just going to be an absolute run over by the likes of Art of War Esports. And what I love about how this turned up was it was so disciplined from them for the last couple of minutes as we played up into this bear. They did not want to just flip it and force it in front of Team Wash. What they made them do was commit resources around it as Biggest Deakus just slaps that Deakus on that tower. And they are just going to be able to take the fight as... Okay, they do commit. Okay, they get that Baron. So it all pays out. They play the vision for the fight and not to try and flip it on the 50-50 Baron in their face. And that's why Art of War is slowly walking this game in.
Yeah, on the backside of that Baron, though, they do lose Deakus, the Ornn managing to pick up the kill, finally. So, Dragon up in a little under 20 seconds now, are the side of... Well, actually, for both teams, the Elder Dragon right here, but Deakus is not respawned yet. He does have teleport. Dragon is going to come up about the same moment he respawns. Have to teleport in. He's actually just going to run it down. They don't think the fight's going to break out, but here comes the Vi going straight in onto Godx Anime. Teleport coming through. Godx Anime takes the ult from the Lulu. Going forward, they're going to pick up one. They're going to pick up Godx Anime. They're going to pick up the Twitch too. Erebus goes down. And now goes the Ornn. It's now up to Wednesday to run away. He's going to get picked up. It's just Llama there on the side. Triple kill going over to a mid. And did it just... Awe just casually wins a fight against 4 and then just is gonna take the game. Oh, but the Talia wall to stop the wave. Oh, but the battery, assault and battery comes through. The police brutality. Deakus chasing him down. Gonna finish off Llama. Gonna finish the ace. And Awe's gonna finish this game, I think.
Yeah, Art of War Esports, an absolute masterclass from them in this game. They played smart so much around what their game plan was when their power spikes were. Team Wash just didn't understand the assignment, it seemed. I don't feel like there was something tragically wrong with their comp. I think that, you know, it just sort of turned out to a little bit of execution in the mid-game, just put them on the back foot. We did see that the Twitch win condition was put behind a little bit early, but that was totally recoverable if they were able to play a little bit smarter through that mid game and play towards their power spikes in the fights that they were going to have to take, because in the early game they had picked up some of that standing gold on the map, and you know that seemed to be the deciding factor. There was that just that one fight they didn't need to be there. If they had gotten that golden fusion, things could have been differently. So I'd be interested in seeing how Wash just lets this wash off, you know, just take it for what it was. I think there was a lot of learning experiences for them, but of course, Art of War, so much greatness to review here, so much of a game plan being executed. Just want to celebrate how great that was.
It was a great game plan. It worked out fantastically for this team, and I can't wait to see the rest of the season from them, and I can't wait to see Wash bounce back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with an interview right after this.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on Friend for Esports. I'm Therocles behind, doing your director today as Chris Edgeworth. Can finally have a day off, which I bet he enjoys. But I am joined here with Art of War, their victory today. I've got Bigus Tikus in the top lane. How are you feeling today after that win, my friend?
I'm feeling great. I got to play a really fun champion. Sejuani is just something I enjoy playing a lot. Being aggressive is kind of my playstyle, so I had a blast. My team had a blast. In general, we're all feeling pretty good right now.
Fair enough, fair enough. And I gotta ask you, top lane Sejuani, it's not something we've really seen in FOF yet, and especially with the Ignite teleport, I kind of like that aggressive playstyle, and it's what you were able to do with Auron. How would you tell me a bit about, what you were thinking with that? Is it something you wanted to do, or were you just like, that it's really strong right now, and kind of like what your team process was about pulling that champion out?
So, right now, we were looking at, basically, we have an Ornn that we had to deal with. I was originally going to go Ornn until they picked it, literally. And I said, you know what? Sejuani is a really good counter to Ornn. Let's just go with Sejuani here. Sword Blue's been making me practice it for a little bit, and it's started to pay off a bit. I suspect we'd be seeing it an awful lot more from, in the trees, except usually when Sejuani is available, Bo gets it. So that might be part of a bias against Sejuani top here, to be fair.
I mean, that's more than a fair opinion, knowing your opponents and when you can get it is definitely true. But I definitely want to compliment, Art of War. Your guys' macro has been really good. We're seeing a step up every time, at least 1% to 5% better on you guys every day, especially with your discipline with those comms. I imagine with, especially the Corki on the sideline. So can you tell me a little bit what you guys have been doing to kind of increase your comms, and what was it like setting up these plays? What's it like in practice?
Basically what we do is we mostly listen to either Trash or Ariri. They're the main playmakers, but anybody that sees something can say, oh, I got this angle, I got this angle. For the most part, we try to keep ourselves focused around macro objectives. Obviously, we like to play around Dragon, as you've seen already. But we typically, for the most part, we don't want to have too many people shouting at once, so we try to keep comms as rational as we can. Team fights get a little hectic sometime, but we try our best. And the main thing is that when we fuck up, making any mistakes, we say, oops, and then we say, we'll talk about it after game. We'll talk about it after game. We don't talk about our mistakes in game. We talk about it after the game. And then that helps us kind of mentally, file it away, so we don't think about it, and we can focus more on the game at hand.
I like that. That definitely seems like you got a lot of construction going on, and I'm pretty sure that's helping towards your guys' growth. But let me talk about you as a player here individually too for a second. I know you've been moving around some teams. I believe your journey with FOF started with PTP. I think you had some relation with Girl for a while, and now you're on Art of War. So I'm just kind of curious on your perspective, since you've had all these different cultures. What's it like joining Art of War, and is this your home, or what are you thinking?
Definitely my home. Art of War is the best team I've been on. Girl was I was a sub, and it was kind of just for fun, because Bacon was always there, and I wasn't really there to necessarily play in the tournament. I was kind of just hanging out with Team Girl because Team Girl was just cool. By far the most personality of any team. Let's go with that. I think Art of War is definitely the most well-constructed. Ariri is super organized, and he has done a great job of setting everything up for us, from scouting to just scheduling and organizing everything we need, plus getting us a coach. Big shout out to Sword Blue, our coach, who is been drilling a lot of this macro into us, a lot of everything into us, really. He's definitely a big part of our success, so I'm sure he's listening, so thank you, Sword Blue, for all your help. But yeah, Art of War is just leagues ahead of what I've been.
Awesome. Well, I'm definitely glad that you're having some comfort there. I love to hear that. And you kind of mentioned it there. So you were kind of on the sub list with Bacon. So is that translating? Are you excited to be able to play against him? This time around, or who is probably the top laner you're most excited to play against?
Most excited to play against? Oh man. Well, I'm most excited to play against probably Anti again. I just like playing against Anti. And he's, quite good. I'm kind of excited to play against Jaffe as well, except Jaffe has this tendency to play things like Fiora, and nobody likes playing against Fiora. That curbs my enthusiasm a wee bit, but I'd love to play against Jaffe and ban his Fiora. Those are the main two. I would love a rematch against Fish. If he happens to play again when we face Int again, I'll be very happy with that. Ideally, without banning for my champions. That'd be a caveat to that. I don't want to be stuck on my 5th pick again.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Well, I'm sure you're excited, the fans are excited when that rematch does come around. But I think we're almost out of time here. But before we do go away, let me go and get your opinion on the next match. We're going to be looking at Team Wet versus Team Ah. What are your predictions?
Ooh. I think... Well, does all have their support again, by chance?
It's a great question. I don't know, but let's assume they do.
If all has their support, Adam, then I would predict them winning. If they do not have Adam, I would actually predict it going to Wet. Adam is just such a big part of that team, and he makes a lot of absolutely insane plays. They definitely feel a lot better with him, and they do a lot better with him. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that prediction. Once again, thank you for your time. And a wonderful performance from me this week. I'm excited to see what Team Art of War has in store for us for Week 3. So I'm going to let you go. But none of our audience go ahead and leave. We're going to go ahead and be taking a short break. We're going to have to restart the stream just for technical difficulties. So don't